I think what digital transformation means for upstream oil and gas, or integrated oil and gas more generally, is more a story of continuous improvement rather than transformation. And I think asset by asset, there's kind of technologies or solutions that will work. I think companies need to kind of figure out what their specific challenges are, what solutions are available on the market, and how those can potentially either take cost out or drive increased throughput. So I think it has to be kind of very focused on independent challenges rather than this kind of large scale, we're going to transform to become something different, and continue to do it over the next 10 to 15 years, because the industry is ultimately faced with the reality of the concept of last barrel standing, and the lowest cost producers are the ones that will garner the most longevity.
I think companies are going to have to broaden their lens a bit around their operating models. What I mean by that is that digital technology is certainly prevalent today, but it's going to become more prevalent over the next 5 to 10 years. And I think companies are going to have to be willing to hire different types of people, right? Maybe more data scientists and others who fundamentally have some of the skill sets that are non-traditional in this space. And so I think we'll see some changes in the types of people that are attracted to the industry and are hired here.
Many of the super major oil companies were taking positions in technology to remain investable. I thought that was, I'm sitting there going, well, who wouldn't want to invest in companies that generate those kinds of cash flows and can grow and be profitable over, a history of 100 plus years, with the ability to pay ever increasing dividends and, keep those commitments and promises. But if you think about the disruption of the new technologies and the regulation of the legislature, if you're there to preserve shareholder value and stakeholder value, for me, that was a real important insight.
There is a lot of hype around AI, but there's a lot of truth beyond AI as well. In oil and gas industry in general is used to investing in technology a lot. They were one of the first one to come up with 3D, 4D seismic imaging technology, hydraulic drilling, Internet of Things, IoT sensors. So they are not new to it. And in fact, oil and gas industry as a whole, as per our research, has spent $3.1 billion last year alone in 2024.
Wow.
So there's already a lot of investment gone in, and that's where the companies that have not even started, it gives them a blueprint of what to do and what not to do. And with that context, if we talk about what is succeeding in what is beyond hype, what is practical in oil and gas, there are 3 areas that really are important, very practical, and more likely or very less risky, already proven technologies. The first area is around predictive maintenance, and that is where all the IoT sensors. Good thing about oil and gas is, especially in the upstream, there are a lot of rigs. They already have a lot of technology already there. Sensors are already there. All that data can be captured, can be used for predictive maintenance as to when the rig or when the equipment at the rig will fail. And if you can predict it, you can fix it before it goes down, thereby you increase the uptime of the assets. So you are able to utilize the asset much faster. There's one international oil measure that we have worked with. They have saved $3 billion just doing this. So it is beyond hype, one case. The second use case that is very safe to invest in is the operational efficiency. And the idea here is to use AI for real-time intelligence as you are doing your job. So for example, one of our clients who is an independent, they used the 3D imaging of seismic imaging technology and combined it with the drilling operations to really real-time adjust the drilling location and direction and what pace it should go in. What they saw is that the drilling speed went up. Instead of 15 days, the well was ready in 10 days.
Wow.
And not just that, it also, the equipment was much safer because the machine learning knew the operating parameters after which it may start breaking down. So it was it caused less downtime, machines were safer, and operators were safer. So that's another use case where real-time intelligence really helps companies expedite their processes and optimize their cost. And the last one, which is very, in some ways it is not the art of the possible AI, but very, very practical in bringing the cost down, is around use of AI-based automation for support functions. Things like finance, HR, planning group, labor scheduling. Those type of operations can now be automated using AI very, very effectively. And especially using GenAI portion of the technology has made traditional bots much more effective, and we are seeing our clients saving 30 to 40% of labor reduction in these functions within 4 to 5 months.
What would you say to a company that is maybe at the beginning of their AI journey? Because we speak to a lot of people that are panicking and saying, oh my goodness, we're so behind the curve. What do? We haven't started yet. Do they need to panic?
Most people, they don't understand what is AI, what is machine learning, what is generative AI, what is agentic AI, and they are using all these terms interchangeably. Really, the way it is, the easiest way to explain it is a set of Venn diagram. Artificial intelligence, AI, is the umbrella term, the outermost circle of the Venn diagram. A subset of that is machine learning. In fact, it is the most important subset. Almost all AI cases are actually enabled by machine learning, because what it does is, that is the biggest use case that AI has on that is practical for businesses actually. So machine learning is subset. Within that, there's a special class of Gen AI. There's a special way of applying machine learning technology that makes human language translation possible, and that's the Gen AI.
Yeah.
And then within that also, then you introduce certain Gen AI, you introduce concept of workflows, and then that becomes the agentic AI. So you can think of it as like a concentric circles, a Venn diagram, and one is subset of the other.